Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speaking to the bill.
Gentleman has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing up today representing not only the women of the 41st District, but all the women throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia who are rightfully concerned about their continued access to all forms of legally available contraception if this bill is passed. I've spoken to many women about this bill consistently. I'm asked over and over again, does this really affect contraception? Of course, it's front and center right now as we listen to the news. It's on the minds of many. We have seen supporters of this bill, Mr. Speaker, and members of this body, have trouble explaining the effect on access to contraception. And I cannot sit quietly today and do nothing while this body decides what rights will be stripped away from my daughter and others with regard to their own health. Rights that both women and men currently have today. Let's not move the Commonwealth back to the days when contraception was not easily accessible. And I do not want to see a day when the only option for women and men to obtain the contraception of their choice is to leave our state and go to D.C. or Maryland. Yesterday, this bill could have been amended to guarantee access to all forms of contraception using the same protections provided by the patron for assisted conception. Unfortunately, this body agreed with the patron and voted against the amendment by the delegate from Fairfax. Mr. Speaker, recent history and public opinion has not been too kind to the issue that we will be shortly voting on. In Colorado in 2008, voters defeated a personhood amendment by 46 points. Supporters said 2008 was a Democratic year, and they tried again in 2010. Even though it was a Republican year in 2010, the amendment was defeated by 41 points. Then just a little over 90 days ago, a similar amendment was voted on in Mississippi. In an election when a Republican governor was elected by 20 points, over 20 points actually, voters of both parties spoke loudly and rejected the personhood amendment by 16 points. Did I say that was Mississippi? If this was defeated in Mississippi, then I would not be surprised if the voters here in the Commonwealth of Virginia would also say no if they were given a chance. I know what I've heard from my constituents, and believe me, I know I will hear from them if this bill passes. Virginia leads the way in so many areas. My constituents and individuals from all over the Commonwealth want us to have the best education for our kids. We want Virginia to continue to lead the way in attracting businesses and creating jobs. I would hope that this bill is not what defines Virginia in the eyes of the country. Mr. Speaker, I will be voting against this bill because the way it is written, without the amendment that our colleague, Delegate Watts, introduced yesterday, will not be guaranteed continued access to all forms of contraception. I urge this body to reject this bill. Thank you.